Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back to Geek-Stew, and today, guys, welcome back to another episode of Conspiracy Theories with Ike. That's right. And I'm actually on a new phone today. Small little story before we get into our theory, because today is a Conspiracy Theories with Ike video, of course. But before we get into that small story, the other day we moved to Florida. Well, not the other day, but a few months ago. And when we moved down here, we were, closer to family now. And we were considering switching from our current phones to Verizon. We were with AT&T before. Nothing against AT&T. AT&T was perfectly fine, but we were looking to switch to Verizon, maybe a little cheaper, and we actually joined our phone plan with father-in-law, and we got a free phone out of it, so me and my wife did. So hey, I'll take a free phone. But supposedly the camera is a little bit better. I don't know. The specs seemed like it was better, but I'm not like an expert, so let's see how that goes. With that being said, I do really quick want to give a big credit to the Steadfast Duelist who gave us the idea for this theory. This theory, I think, kind of broaches into the more of a territory of like, creepypasta type deal, but nothing crazy. We're going to talk about forest stairs today. And but before we get into that theory, I want to thank you all for supporting the channel and continuing to watch the videos. I know the last two videos were a little bit different, since they were more of a vlog type video regarding the cruise ship experience that I had, which was great, and I do appreciate the love and support on that. But we are back to some sort of that normal content. I do have some other stuff coming up in the near future, but this was a request, of course, and I got to do what the fans want. So here is the forest stairs. Let's get into theory. Let's jump into another episode of Conspiracy Theories with Ike. So this theory kind of seems just like, it's called forest stairs. So it's about some weird stairs in the forest, right? I mean, yeah, that's what it's about. But so the big thing here is that when you hear about forest stairs, it's not necessarily just about like the stairs. It's sort of about the circumstances revolving around the stairs. It's kind of about what the stairs can do, how it affects people, things of that nature. So what we need to do is we kind of need to look at a few different ideas about forest stairs. And if you're not sure what we're talking about, here's an example. So let's say you're walking through the woods, you're on a hike or something, and you come across some stairs that are just kind of hanging out in the middle of the woods. They're really out of place, and you're just thinking to yourself, what's up with this? And if I remember correctly, years ago, there was a creepypasta about stairs in the forests. And if I remember correctly, the creepypasta was about a set of stairs in the middle of, there's that big park in New York City, like in the middle of the city, right? And supposedly there was a set of stairs that was just kind of in the middle of the trees or something. So that was kind of like a creepypasta back in the day. But obviously this is a real like phenomena, if you will. A lot of people think that they could be supernatural. There could be a rational explanation. So you guys be the judge of that. But basically, in no particular order, I'm just going to kind of roll through some of the different ideas about the forest stairs, what they are, what they could be, how they got there, things of that nature. So let's do it. So basically, the first thought process here is that these are just simply derelict structures left over from buildings that once existed in these places. Don't mind, I was just moving my iPad. But basically, they existed as a part of a structure. The structure was torn down, and in some cases, the stairs were left remaining. Basically, someone had like a house or a cabin, and some other, they're like, okay, I'm going to tear it down and go. But, you're basically probably going to be saying to yourself or to me out loud, I don't know, basically, why were the stairs left? So as part of my research, I kind of identified that in some cases stairs, especially if they were like concrete stairs, were built as part of the foundation. And if it's built as part of a concrete foundation, or perhaps built as an extension of the foundation, it might be very hard to tear down. Not to mention, the stairs could be used during the tear down process to transport stuff out of the house and whatnot. or the building. So that's kind of the explanation a lot of people just give, is that basically, stairs were built as part of the construction, part of the base, part of the building. And long story short, nothing weird's going on. It's just like, they're just left there. But obviously that's not why you came to watch this video. You came to watch this video for some weird stuff. So let's go ahead and look at some weird stuff. On the same train of thought, a lot of people think that these could just be derelict stairs left over, but that the stairs could hold some form of spiritual energy and be kind of a haunting. And this could mean that you could be possessed or haunted by visiting these stairs and, lead to your typical haunting/possession symptoms. And the reason I mention this is that a lot of people who talk about these stairs, or they go and visit these stairs, because there are YouTube videos of people doing that, they talk about visiting these stairs in these forests, and they just feel weird being on the stairs. Now, obviously, I'm a pretty open-minded person. I generally tend to consider myself a believer in the paranormal, ghosts and demons and the like. So generally speaking, I do believe in that. So I definitely could see how a leftover building in the middle of a forest could be a hotspot for the paranormal. Forests oftentimes, especially old buildings inside of forests have been around for a long time. They're old trees typically. It's very possible that the things that happen near or around there could generate the necessary conditions to have a haunting. So I definitely think that could be possible. Obviously, if you're not a believer in the paranormal, that may not be as a likely explanation for you. Ghosts and spooky shit. But I guess there are some other theories that are maybe a little more out there. That could be possible. So again, kind of in the same vein of thought of sort of like this, paranormal, extra, kind of in that same theory, right? These could be mirrors or crossovers from other universes or timelines. So basically, you're getting glimpses or mirages of other verses, sort of like, think the Mandela effect, if it was somehow affecting the physical world outside of Berenstain Bears. That was kind of one of the explanations I sort of saw being floated around, was that somehow these are like little glimpses or passovers from these other dimensions, if you will, where I guess it's a stairs dimension. I'm just kidding. It's, the explanation would be that in this other dimension there did exist a structure, and then we're just getting sort of like a layover, if you will. Alternatively, some people do think that these are like portals to hell or some other evil dimension. This one could be outlandish, but what if? And this is a big what if, because obviously I think that if you were to really dive into this, if you were to find a set of stairs in the middle of the forest, you could probably, with a reasonable amount of effort, figure out where the stairs came from. Like, go to the county's surveying office or go to the county records office, and there's probably some record of a building in that general area, which would explain why there are stairs. But if we were to assume that perhaps there is no record, perhaps there is nothing to prove that those stairs should be there. Let's just say they pop out of nowhere, and obviously a set of stairs in the middle of nowhere, in the middle of a forest, unsuspecting, is definitely an inviting situation. I know if I did not know anything about forest stairs, that I would probably go up to said stairs and I would probably climb them and or spend time around or near them. Because truth be told, it's a very convenient set of stairs. Just, if they appear, it's just like, wow, that's really cool. Let's go hang out. So it's sort of a convenient little segue. But basically, what if you did climb it and then you were teleported elsewhere, or this might not be the case, but this is a very eerie concept, and eerie nonetheless. A lot of people have reported that these are paranormal hotspots or paranormal things, and there could be some truth to that. Obviously, I don't know if they're going to get transported to hell, but
that's improbable, but not impossible.
I think that if someone made a movie about this, I would watch it for sure, but I have never personally seen any stairs in the forest that are out of the normal or out of the ordinary, I guess you could say. Now, obviously, that's not to say that there aren't out of the ordinary stairs, but there you go. So that's kind of the thought process, is that it could just be nothing. It could be paranormal. It could be, supernatural in terms of like multiple universes, or it could just be a demon portal to hell. Who's to decide? You're to decide, in fact. Not me. That's on you. All right, so that's kind of my thoughts and my research I did on the concept of forest stairs. Very interesting, very spooky, kind of an eerie concept. Obviously, I've never personally experienced this. It does kind of make me want to go trouncing through the forest and the woods, trying to find like mysterious structures now. Do some, what is it called? There's a word for people who do that, who they just go and find like abandoned structures and they just run through it and shit. But anyhow, I would kind of put the forest stairs in sort of a similar category to like liminal spaces and like the back rooms and stuff in that ballpark. And the reason I say that is because when you look at stairs that are just kind of sitting in the forest, there almost seems like this weird familiarity that makes it eerie. Basically, because you don't know how or why you recognize it, but for some reason you see like a set of stairs in the forest. Like you see these pictures that have been just kind of thrown up throughout the video, and you kind of sit there and you think to yourself, man, for some reason that looks weirdly familiar, and you can't really explain it or justify it. You just kind of sit there and you're like, interesting. So that's my thought process, is that I kind of put in that same category. Somebody probably, like I said, I'm almost 99% sure that there have been like creepypasta stories about stairs in the forest, and like maybe I'm imagining that, or maybe it's like the Mandela effect. I don't know. But I know that this is popping up on TikTok a lot now, people talking about forest stairs. Don't get me wrong, I think TikTok as a... it's weird because like urban legends for centuries have kind of been like this process of, word of mouth, talking about stories and various things like that to kind of keep like a verbal record, a verbal transcript, if you will, or verbal, what's the word? But there's a word for it, basically, where you take it's like a verbal record. It's a verbal history of, these different urban legends. And, obviously back in the, in the 20th century, a lot of this stuff was just word of mouth. But then that word of mouth translated to different types of word of mouth, videos, you know what I mean? Video recorded urban legends being told on YouTube and different social media platforms. And I think that TikTok has really aided in like this weird generation of like urban legends and, urban legend sightings and stuff like that, because TikTok is like this really interesting like tool that you can now use to very quickly and very concisely record an urban legend, or maybe even take a video of some weird shit that's happening. So I don't know, I think that in a few years from now, 10, 15 years from now, they're going to look back and look at things like Vine and TikTok and Musical.ly, and they're going to be like, wow, this is a really, really interesting platform that can be used for more than just dancing and stuff. And I don't know. So that's sort of just like a random thought that I had, because I saw the forest stairs on TikTok just the other day. After this person actually asked me to cover this theory, I saw the forest stairs pop up on TikTok, and I was like, it's kind of weird that, somebody asked me to cover it, and then just boom, it pops up. I mean, that is kind of my thread, is like conspiracy stuff. But anyways, yeah, I'm gonna stop rambling, but it's just kind of a weird thought process that like, TikTok is going to one day be considered like a secondary source for like things like this, or maybe even a tertiary source. Don't quote me, but definitely people are going to reference TikTok in 10, 15 years as the start of certain societal and like, cultural phenomena, pop culture, things like that, because already TikTok stars are considered like famous celebrities, and Vine stars are too. I don't know. It's this weird. We're in this weird transitionary period where basically you can get famous for literally nothing. Not to say that in a bad way, but it's just a weird thing that the 20th century, you had to do such and such things. You know what I mean? You had to be this really extraordinary person, and not to say that we're not all extraordinary in our own way. it's just a very different sense of how media is consumed in this 21st century that we are in. And we consume so much now and in such quick succession that anybody can be famous because of how much and how quickly we consume content and media. Anyways, that's enough of my thesis on whatever the fuck I'm talking about. I'm going to get out of here. Go ahead and hit like and subscribe if you haven't already. Follow us on social media. Keep up with us. I promise you. I'm going to keep making videos weekly. We're going to start getting into some other stuff that I want to cover. I found some other theories that I wanted to cover. I actually found an iceberg that sort of led me down a rabbit hole. And so I have a whole list of theories that are not on an iceberg, I don't think at least. That kind of are in the religious realm, and I really enjoyed covering the serpent seed doctrine, and it honestly kind of made me look at some other stuff. And I actually had a fan reach out to me, and they mentioned that some of the content that they prefer to see is that religious content. And I also saw that God's Ego Death, God's Last Wish both performed exceedingly well, considering the overall arching theme of my conspiracy videos. So basically, I'm going to start transitioning into some more religious-based content, not because I'm religious, but because I seem to know a little bit about it, and I don't know. Anyways, next week's video will probably be in that realm. Let me know what you think, but I'm rambling for 6 minutes now. I haven't sat down and talked to you guys in so long. I had so much to say. Anyways, like and subscribe, follow social media, share, blah, 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 all that good shit. Let me know what you want to see in the comment section down below. I'll cover your theory probably, as I did today for somebody else. And yeah, that's it. Stay safe, stay happy, stay healthy, and stay awesome. We will see you in the next one. See ya.